Hi, I'm genre Aragon.
Hi, I'm Shawn Ignacio.
My name is Ronson Lopez,
I'm Royce Jarvy.
and this is our NeuroMaker 2021 challenge, helping hand for visually impaired amputees. Today, we'll be going over our problem, our background research, our possible solutions and modifications, and lastly, our constraints.
So our problem is that amputees deal with challenges regarding the loss of their limbs, which involve everyday tasks such as carrying items, tying shoes, walking, and etc. To add on, most amputees deal with the stress of losing their limb, which may affect them psychologically. For this challenge, we wanted to focus on amputees that may be facing other disabilities. More specifically, we approached vision loss or visual impairment within amputees. Our group came up with designs using the NeuroMaker hand that could possibly help people with visual impairments see again. We did background research on artificial vision, which is the use of computers that can mimic the human visual system. We researched the Baylor College of Medicine, which used glasses with a camera implanted inside to capture images and send it to the brain through electrodes. We also researched the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, who use nanowire light sensors to capture light and liquid metal wires to act as the eye's nerves, and the University of Arkansas and University of Nevada, who used a robotic ring that can also capture images and send it to the brain.
Concepts and modifications. Our first concept would be to input the camera in the index finger. The camera will be inserted into the fingertip of the index finger. When pointing towards a direction, the camera will capture an image of what it's pointing at. The goal of these is for the images to somehow transfer to the brain, thus letting the blind amputees see what they're pointing at. At the bottom left is a diagram of what this might look like. The next picture shows the actual NeuroMaker hand with our prototype. And then the third picture is a reference image for a camera that we could use. Lastly, that is just another view of the concept number one.
So our second concept is the palm camera, and this functions similarly to the camera inside of the index finger, but the camera covers nearly the entire palm. And this would provide a different point of view for the camera to see from a pose from the camera that is inside of the fingertip. So on the bottom left, you could see a top-down view of the prototype. And then in the middle picture, that would be our diagram that we wrote down. And then on the picture to the right, it would be another view of the prototype. And for our third concept, it would be the backhand camera. And so this functions similarly to the camera inside of the palm, but the difference is that the camera covers nearly the entire backhand. And this would make it more natural to see since your backhand naturally faces away from you when you're walking. And the picture to the left would be another picture of the prototype. And then the picture on the right would be the diagram.
Next, we'll be going over our constraints. The constraints within the index finger would be to consistently function. The amputee must constantly point towards the direction. When holding something, the positioning of the fingers make it so that the user is pointing towards the held item. When hands are at rest, the camera will capture random things. The NeuroMaker hand's fingertips are small. Wiring the camera has to be outside, running through the skin of the hand unless the camera is wireless. And the camera may be scratched due to daily life and mess up the signal sent. For the constraints within the palm camera would be that to consistently function, the amputee must constantly point palm towards the direction. When holding something, the camera may be blocked. When closing a fist, the camera may also be blocked. And the camera may be scratched due to daily life and mess up the signal sent. The constraints within the backhand camera would be that the amputee must point back the backhand to things above, which will be uncomfortable and strain the wrist. When lifting things, the camera will only display the bottom, and the camera may be scratched due to daily life and mess up the signal sent. These are our sources. Thank you for listening.